Amanda here from createyourfuture.co. Oh my goodness, I'm wrecking the joint. Anyways, guys, welcome to the video. I've got an exciting video about manifestation of everyone as you pushed out. It's so exciting. I just had to share it, and you know, because it was actually something that was bothering me, and I totally, absolutely manifested it. So yeah, I'm going to share that success story with you. Just before I dive into it, guys, we do have a free course, How to Find Your Blocks and Manifest Anything Fast. It's going to help you to create your own personalized set of intentions. It's basically like a free coaching session, basically in a course. So, and it's totally free. Links in the description below. And when you get that free course, you actually sign up for our mailing list, and you'll be the first to hear about all of our sales. We do have quite a few of our coaches having a sale right now, so definitely check out the link in the description, or you can email us and ask us who's having a sale at any time. Usually we have coaches having sales constantly. So yeah, so let's, and before I dive into it, guys, I've got manifestation journals. Definitely check out the link in the description. They're the exact journals that I use to create what I want to manifest. So yeah. Okay, let's dive into this, guys. I am so excited for this telling you guys this manifestation story. So basically I got an engagement ring, and this engagement ring, I'll show you, it's actually kind of thin, like it's very thin. It's actually thicker than it was, but it's actually quite thin. And so anyways, I got it sized, and then it kept breaking, like basically ripping down here. And it was like, oh my goodness, like it really sucked. So I went and got it sized, and then it broke. Then I got it fixed, and I had the warranty on it. So they fixed it, and then it broke again. And this time I took it in, and I was like, okay, this is the second time it broke. I'm like, you know, and the lady was like, well, this was before the wedding. She goes, well, when you're ready to, you know, fix it, you know, we can fix it, and you just have to ask them to add a half a shank. And I said, okay. She's like, but unfortunately, the adding the half a shank is not covered under your warranty. And I was like, okay. I'm like, well, how much is it? She's like, $400. And I was like, okay. Well, anyways, I'm like, I'm not going to do it now. I'm like, I need my ring, you know, even though it's got a crack in it. I'm like, I need it for the wedding, for the pictures and all that. So anyways, went through the wedding and had it for the pictures and all this, right? And then now it was like after the wedding, and it was like, okay, time to get my ring fixed, because it was actually starting to annoy me. And so I go in and I said, okay, well, I'd like to fix my ring. And she was like, I'm like, and we need to add a half a shank so it stops breaking. And she was like, oh, she's like, you know what? She's like, that's not covered under your warranty. And I was like, really? And she was like, yeah. And I'm like, I'm like, well, that's not really fair, because I'm like, I haven't done anything to the ring other than size it within the parameters that you guys let me size it. I'm like, and I'm like, I got the extended warranty. She's like, I know, but it's not covered. It doesn't matter. They don't cover this sort of thing. And I was like, okay. And I'm like, how much is it? She's like, 400. And I'm like, okay. I was like, okay, you know what? It's fine, whatever. I'm like, just send it off. I'm like, I need it fixed. I'm like, I'll pay it. It doesn't matter. And then she was like, well, you know what? I'll have my manager call you tomorrow. And I was like, yeah, okay. And I said, well, you know, should I call the toll-free number, you know, by chance? Can they help me, you know, basically get this fixed? And she was like, well, she's like, no, she's like, I don't think they can. And I was like, okay, whatever. It's fine. I'm like, I'll pay it. Just send it off for repair. So, you know, driving home, and I'm thinking about it, and I'm like, you know what? I'm like, you know, it's probably, I can manifest $400, no problem. I'm like, I'll just manifest the $400 to get it fixed. I'm like, not a big deal. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, I am manifest 20 times that coming into me in the next week anyway. So like, who cares about the $400? So basically I was okay with paying for the repair, right? But I was still intending that I was going to get the repair for free, because the manager was going to call me the next day, and I was going to call the toll-free number. So even if I had to pay for the repair up front, I was still going to try to get it reimbursed or whatever. But I was, again, okay with either outcome, whether I paid for the repair and just manifested the money for it, or getting the repair covered and not having to pay, or getting reimbursed later. I was okay with all three of the outcomes. I wasn't attached to getting it done for free. And so anyways, the next day, right, I'm thinking, okay, the manager calls me. So I call her back, and she was like, yeah, so anyways, like, you know, getting this half shank does actually cost money. She's like, but, you know, don't worry about it this time. And I was like, what? She's like, I'm like, you're paying for it? She's like, yeah, we're going to pay for it. We'll cover it this time, but we're not going to cover it the next time. And I was like, oh my goodness, right on. So they ended up covering it. But so the point of my story is in my mind, I was okay with paying for it, but I was still intending that I was going to get it covered for free. So, I had no resistance to paying for it. Do you get what I'm saying? And that's why I was still able to manifest it for free, because I wasn't attached to the outcome of it being, free. I wasn't completely attached to it, couldn't have it any other way. I was like, no, you know what? I'll pay for it if I have to. It's like, whatever, you know what? This isn't something that, is really going to is like a huge deal to me, right? Like, I just need the ring fixed, and so be it. If it's a $400, who cares? But at the same time, I'm like, no, I think they should pay for it. My story is that I didn't do anything to actually damage the ring outside of, their warranty. So it's not my fault they made the ring too thin. So that was the story that I was holding, that I was pushing out to them, that they would pay for it because they know that I didn't do anything to actually damage the ring, and the ring was just made too thin to begin with, and that wasn't my fault. So they were going to cover the repair. So they're me pushed out, and that's exactly what she reflected back to me. She said, well, you haven't oversized it. She's like, it's not your fault. It was just a thin piece of jewelry. That's why we covered it, right? And I was like, oh, okay, yay. So anyway, so, I hope that illustrates, that you can have an alternate outcome. It's okay. But I think it's important to not be resistant to something, right? Because the more we resist something, the more it persists. So if I was resisting paying for this repair, in my mind, I would be upset about it. I'd be worried about it. I'd be like, oh my God, where's the money going to come from? Like, it would be, why should I pay for it? It's not my fault. I can't believe they would do this to me. I can't believe that, this is how they treat their customers. Like, all those thoughts would be coming if I was resisting paying for this, right? But me just accepting it and going, okay, well, if that's it, so be it. And just, but hold on, I know my thoughts create. I know everyone's me pushed out, so I'm going to get it free. And this is the story that they're going to tell themselves to make it free for me, right? Because this is the story that I'm sticking to and I'm telling, so, it's okay to accept other avenues, right? It's important to be okay with everything and every possible outcome, because once you're okay with it, you're not fighting it. I was okay with it. So I wasn't upset about it, about having to pay for it possibly. I just was like, I resigned to it. I was like, well, if that's it, whatever, but what can I do? I know what I can do. I can change my story. I can think. So, I think it's very important, to take everything in without resistance. And, and obviously I created them saying I was going to have to pay for it because I was worried it wasn't covered under warranty. So that obviously got reflected back. So I accepted that, but then I accepted it and I went, okay, I'm not going to resist this. I'm not going to get upset about it. I'm not going to, create a whole story about it. I'm going to go, okay, well, if I have to, that's fine. So be it. But I'm going to also create this new story that this ring shouldn't have broke, and even though it's not covered under warranty, they're going to make an exception because I didn't do anything to it to make it break. It was just too thinly made, and they're going to cover it because of that. Okay. And then so that story was what I started was focusing on as well, so yeah, I intend that this story helps. So yeah, the moral of the story, guys, is just, go through accepting everything that comes in, acknowledge it. Me actually thinking that they weren't going to cover it under warranty and then it being reflected back to me, that's a manifestation right there. Maybe I don't like that manifestation very much, but it was a manifestation. So take everything that shows up in your reality. Every single thought that you have is a manifestation of your thoughts. Every single one of them, every single one of your thoughts is coming back to you, reflecting back. There's nothing random in your 3D reality, okay? It's all waves until you look at it and focus on it, and then it collapses, okay? That's like in quantum physics, okay? Then it collapses into what you're focusing on, okay? So this whole reality that you're in is a projection of your subconscious mind, okay? And you'll see things the way that you choose to see them by the way that you're focusing on them. Okay, so it's so important to focus your thoughts on what you want. Okay, and when something does show up that you don't want, to not resist it and fight it and be angry at it and upset at it. Just accept it because it was a manifestation. It's like when you have a good manifestation, the one that you like, you're not all mad at it, you know, oh, I can't believe something great happened to me today. I can't believe he wants to marry me. No, you're happy about it, right? So, you know, you may not, you know, I'm not saying be happy about the bad things that show up, but just accept it. It was a manifestation. And if you don't like it, great, let it go, change it. What do you want instead, right? Like, don't give so much emotion to the bad things that we show up, that we manifest, because they were a thought that you had. That's a miracle right in itself, right there, you know. And but it's like, yeah, you know what? Oops, don't want that. Moving on. What do I want instead? So yeah, I intend that this video helps each and every one of you guys. Thank you so much for subscribing. And yeah, I intend that every single video that me and the coaches put out on this channel absolutely change your life for the better in one way or another, that every video that you watch of ours gives you an aha moment. And yeah, and that you guys, each and every one of you guys, create something wonderful in your life that you love and that you absolutely adore, because each and every one of you guys deserve it. You're perfect, whole, and complete just the way you are. And you deserve absolutely everything that you could possibly want. Yeah. So anyways, thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.